Okay, so JavaScript. As I told you, JavaScript is a fundamental component in web programming nowadays. JavaScript is very powerful uh, client-side programming language. It can be used in server side also, but we will cover only to the client side of a JavaScript. Okay, so as there is a word Java included in the JavaScript, so don't confuse Java and JavaScript. Java is different programming language and it's a complete object-oriented language which needs a compiler. So it's a compiler-based programming language, and it's a very powerful language also. uh, a lot of Java language uh, can in Java we can develop many different type of programming, like application for desktop, for network, for games, for even for the machine learning, so many stuff. So Java is different thing. It is a compiler-based programming language. On the other hand, JavaScript is browser-based programming language, and it works very fine with the latest browser, because JavaScript is keep updating, and the new updates are not supported by the older browser. So JavaScript is client side client side web programming scripting language. It can run in browser only, but Java is a complete programming language. It needs a compiler and IDE, a proper IDE. On the other hand, JavaScript you can write anywhere in any editor, and then you can add to the HTML document. You can link with the HTML document, then it will apply the effect like CSS. HTML provide the content to the page. CSS beautify the content, means apply styles on the content. On the other hand, JavaScript provide behavior or control the behavior of the content, or you can say that JavaScript can provide the interactivity between user and the content. So you see, web programming is that much multi-layered programming, like content, beautification, interactivity, then dynamicness and staticness. So you see, all these are the different aspects of programming language. This is a little bit history of JavaScript. JavaScript was developed in 1995, and at that time its name was LiveScript. Okay, then in 1996, Netscape bought it and give a name and change the name from LiveScript to JavaScript. And after that, in 1997, its name changed to ECMAScript. Until now, actually, its official name is ECMAScript, but still, you see, it's like most commonly people are using as a JavaScript. So in 1993, its third version released, ECMAScript 3. In 2009, ECMAScript 5, and now ECMAScript 6. Mostly the programmer call it ES6 and ES7. Actually, ES6 and ES7 are too much powerful languages now. Even nowadays, there is higher versions than ES7, ES8, ES9. I think it's almost reached to ES10. Okay, you can confirm this later on in Google. But this is a brief history how to add JavaScript into HTML page. So we can add actually JavaScript into HTML page anywhere that we want. Mostly it is added at the head tag, inside head tag, using the statement script src, and the file name or the path of the file of the JavaScript. And we will study this in detail also, but note the point. Like HTML, the file is saved .html. In CSS, the file must be saved with the extension .css. But JavaScript or ECMAScript file should be saved with the extension .js. So script src, if it is somewhere else, then the full path of the file. If it is in the same folder, then just name of the JavaScript file, and close script. In older versions, there are another one word like type equal to text slash JavaScript, but now it is not needed. Okay, only simply we can type script src and the JavaScript file. So you can add this in a head file also, you can add this in a body also. In a body, anywhere you can add. So which one is the recommended one? Actually, when the page loads, then JavaScript has a higher priority than HTML. So if let's suppose this is the HTML page which is loading. So if you put at the top JavaScript first, and let's suppose the JavaScript file is too big, then you see the JavaScript, the page will stop at this point until the full JavaScript loaded first, then the content of the page will be displayed. Okay, so it means if the JavaScript is at the top, at the header section of the HTML page, then it affects the loading time of the page. So the best place of JavaScript is to add at the bottom, at the end of the page, inside the body tag. Okay, meaning to say, after all the tags, after all the HTML tags, in the body tags, add the JavaScript. So the benefit of this will be that when someone open the page, the content will be quickly displayed, so the user will not feel the loading time of the JavaScript. One way is like this, that you click these three dots and then come to more tools, and from more tools go to developer tool, and inside the developer tool click the console tab. You see there are many different tabs. Okay, but we will have to click the console. Professionals are using this style, that create HTML page and then create the JavaScript file in a separate file like CSS, and then link it at the end of the HTML page. So let's go to VS Code and create an HTML page. Let's suppose index.html. So I will give a name. I will just change the name to JavaScript. Okay, now I will create another file in the same folder, script.js. You can give any name that you want, but it must be .js, and don't give any space in the file name. Okay, so the JavaScript here. Now you see this script.js, we need to link with the HTML file. So the best way, as I told you, to link here at the bottom, here at the end of the body tag, using the script tag, script. Okay, You see, it gives the old style also, type, script, JavaScript, blah, blah, blah. But actually, you can type just script src, and then you can src equal to script.js, okay, and the closing script. That's all. Script, src, script.js, and script. Now this JavaScript file is linked with the Java with the page. So if we go to the JavaScript file, and here if I type console.log, okay, in JavaScript, anything if you want to print to the console, you see here in the browser, this is the console. This window is the console window. Another easy way to open the console is just press Control plus Shift plus I when the browser is open. So if I press Control plus Shift plus I, so it automatically opens. Okay, now let's open this side by side. Okay, and here Control plus Shift plus I. Open, yeah, like this. Okay, so if I type here now and press enter, so you see here the output is already displayed. Welcome. Oh, sorry, it's single A. Welcome to JavaScript. You see, in a real time, we can see the output here. So console.log is a JavaScript statement which display log messages and error messages, warning messages to the console. Comments in JavaScript is exactly like other languages. Yeah, a single line comment, double slashes, double line comments, slash, asterisk, and the comment, and then asterisk slash. Variable is named storage location in memory where we can store values, and during the execution of the program we can read that values back, we can apply some operation on that, we can change its value whatever we want to do. So in JavaScript, if you want to create a variable, we will have to use the keyword var, and after that the variable name. And you see, we can create like all these type of variable names. Variable names, you can only add letters, numbers, underscore, okay, and in JavaScript you can add dollar sign also, okay, but you cannot start the starting letter of the name must be a letter, alphabet, or alphabet, or underscore. It cannot be a number like this. So if you write like this, so it is wrong. Okay, and in JavaScript, actually in every programming language, the standard or the professional way is the camel case style. This is called camel case style. Camel case means that if you want to create a variable composed of two words like customer email, okay, then the variable the will start from lowercase. The first word will be lowercase, and the second word will start from uppercase, like email, the E capital in email. Okay, and if it is one word variable name, then it should be lowercase. This is worldwide professional standards. It's not compulsory. It is just a good programming practice. Okay, now after the 2015, when ES6 was released, okay, ES6, then we are not using, the programmers and most of the people are not using var anymore keyword. We are using the let, the let with lowercase let keyword. Okay, there is little actually let and var both have the same functionality. There is a bit difference between the two, like and both are used to declare a variable. Okay, so the var variable is like a function scope and let is a block scope. What does it mean? It's like this, that a variable, when you uh, create using the var keyword, so that variable become like a global variable, and from different scopes you can access it. Okay, I hope you know what I mean by scope. Okay, in a programming languages, the scope is created by curly brackets. For example, okay, if you have these curly brackets and it has a main parent block, so if anything here is accessible in this child block, but anything here in the child block is not accessible outside this scope. So a variable created using the keyword var, it become a global scope variable. It can be accessed from different part of the program. But a variable created by let keyword, it is a local scope variable and it cannot be accessed from different parts of the program. So you see, we can this is a small difference, and mostly we need a local variable, so we will use let keyword. Okay, next one, like all other programming languages, JavaScript also using different operators like plus, minus, multiplication, okay, division, plus plus, minus minus. These two may be new for you. The asterisk, it is exponential, exponent operator, and this is a reminder I think you are already familiar with. But okay, if you are not familiar with, I will show you through some examples. Okay, exponent is like if you raise some value to some exponent, for example x, uh, x to the power of 4. Okay, so, and if x value is 2, so 2 to the power of 4 means 2 multiply 4 times. Okay, so 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and 8 to 16. So 2 to the 2 to the power of 4 means equal to 16. So let me quickly show you this two. The rest I think you people are already familiar with. Create a variable, let x equal to some value, let's suppose 5. Okay, and let y equal to let's suppose what, 3. Okay, and if I write like this, that console.log. Okay, and if I write x asterisk y, okay, then it will display like 5 times 5 times 5. And see here, you see 125, 125. So this is the exponent one. uh, the other operator, which is the modulus operator, are called a remainder operator also. That is the percentage percentage sign. So it gives what? It gives the remainder, meaning to say, if we divide the 5 by 3. Okay, if we divide 5 by 3, okay, 313. Okay, so the remainder is 2. So this operator gives us the remainder, and if you see here, the remainder is displayed in the console. Other operators, okay, actually JavaScript is very rich in operators and different functions. Okay, so you see equal to, like x equal to y, plus equal to minus equal to, multiplication equal to, all these uh, operators are available, and JavaScript uses all this. There are two others, like in C++, equal is used for equality. Okay, but there is another new one in JavaScript which is called triple equal to. You see, this equal is used for equality, and it only look at the value. For example, 2 equal to 2, this is also true, and 2 equal to 2. You see, this time I wrote the 2 in a string way, but the value is again 2. So JavaScript can understand the content inside the string. So 2 equal to 2, it is again true. But if you want that not only the value, the type also, that if 2 is equal to 2 from value point of view and from type point of view, type means data type, then you need to write equal 3 times equal. This time it will give you false. Okay, so let me show you this one through the console.log. uh, X equal y. Let's see, it works. Yeah, you see, it display false because 5 is not equal to 3. But if I type y also equal to 3, then you see it display true. But if I type, you see, if I type even the y in a string format, you see still it displays true, because JavaScript is looking at the value, is not looking at the type this time. But if you want a very strict comparison, then you can type like this: equal 3 times equal. So this time the JavaScript is not only looking for the value, it's looking for the type also. So the type, this one is integer and this one is a string, although its values are same, but its type are different. This is why we are getting the output as false. Okay, so next one is logical operators. In logical operators, I will try to skip. If any confusion, if it is not clear to you, you can tell me, then I will give you example. Otherwise, AND operator compare two conditions to the left and to the right. If both conditions are true, then the result of AND operator is true, and OR operator will be true if any of the condition is true. So AND operator use will be true only if all the conditions are true, and OR operator will be true if only a single condition is true. Any one condition is true, then the result will be true. And NOT operator negates the value, meaning to say, if it is true and you say not true, means false, and not false means true. So it negates, it reverses the results. Okay, now there are different data types in JavaScript. The main two categories, like other programming, like every object-oriented programming language. Oh, note the point: JavaScript is fully object-oriented programming language. Okay, so like other programming languages, JavaScript also have these two primitive data type and non-primitive data type. Primitive means that that these values are predefined. The like you see, the number, the string, the boolean, the null, All these are different data types in JavaScript, and all these data types are predefined. Predefined means that how much bytes will be uh, allocated to a number variable. Are Note the point, in JavaScript all the numbers like whole numbers, like in C++ there is integer, float, double, long, int and blah blah, but in JavaScript all numbers are actually number objects. So it is fully object oriented, and this is why all numbers are in number category. But the number, the type of and the style, the type is predefined in JavaScript. This is why it is called primitive data type. For example, you can say like this also, that the number variable can store only one value that you store in. For example, in a number variable, let's suppose you put 5, so okay, it store 5. Okay, in a string, if you define any string value, it will store that one. But the non-primitive, it is not defined, it is not predefined, so it is user defined uh, data type. So we don't know in advance how many component, how many properties are there. So it depends on the user to define, uh, to define and depends on the user how many properties, how many methods want to add into the objects. Okay, so using the primitive data types first. Okay, we will go through this. You see the integer, floating, string, boolean, array, date, until these are the primitive. The object is non-primitive data types. Okay, so to create a variable, we seen one example also, but commonly like var. So you see in these slides, these are my old slides, actually last year slides. So I have used all the var, but try to use now, from now onward, let keyword. Don't use var keyword. Otherwise, all of your variables will be uh, global variable. So like var variable name, you can give any name and then the value 99. And var, so you see this time you see box and then another variable. So you see the JavaScript actually change the type of variable. If you remember, if you look at this, we are not writing like C++ int, float. Okay, we are just writing var or let. Then what type of variable it will be, JavaScript automatically decide when it gets a value. If it get a value string, then the type of the variable will become string, and if it get a value number, then its type will become number. In a string case, note this point, you can write single quote also, and you can write double quote also, but it is recommended that use double quote in case of a string. Then it will be not confused. So for example, if there are a string inside string, or such a string which contain single quotes, then the browser will be not confused. For example, if you write don't here, you see, so it contained the single quote. Okay, now in such a case, if you are using the double quotes for the string, then it's a best way. Then browser can easily interpret. Okay, and the parser can decide. But if you use outside also single quote, and the string also contains some single quote, at that time you see this single quote will be considered the closing quote for the opening one, which makes problems. So better to use double quotes in case of a string. In case of boolean, you see true and false. So the type of the variable will automatically change uh, when it get a value. Okay. Nowadays in C++ also there is a new word auto. So in case of auto, when you use auto, then no need to write the int float double, so it will decide on the basis of the value. But in JavaScript, automatically no need to write auto, just use a keyword var or let, but let is recommended. Now let's continue. Next one, conditional statements. So JavaScript has the if, else, if, else, if, else. So you can make as many complicated structure as you want. So it works in the same way that as you have studied in other programming languages, that if and then here will be the condition. If the condition is true, the body of if will execute it. If the condition is false, the body of if will be ignored. Like for example, if x is less than 50, and let's suppose x has a value 10. Okay, so of course 10 is less than 50, then this coding the body will be executed. And if uh, x is, let's suppose, 60, then the condition will become false, and this will be skipped. Okay, so if statement, these are the operator, as I already told you, that equal double equality for just comparing the values of two variable, and less than all the comparison operator you can use in conditional statements. Okay, and the triple equal for comparing value as well as the type of variable. Okay, these are, yeah, the operators we have almost covered. I think no need to go through this again. Loops in JavaScript is also like in operator. JavaScript is actually quite rich in loops. Also, it has the same while loop, do while loop, for loop, and two extra. Maybe you have not heard about this yet. For in loop and for off loop. JavaScript has these two loops also. Okay, we know for loop. In a for loop, we use three parts inside these brackets. Like let I equal, let's suppose 0, semicolon, I less than equal to 10, let's suppose, and semicolon, and then I plus plus, and in the body, sorry, yeah, here we can display the value like console.log I yeah, let's just simply display I. Okay, and now if we see the result, um, yeah, you see 0 1 2 3 4 5 until 9, because we have used if I is less than 10. So if I write I is less than equal to 10, you will see 10 is also included. So for loop is working like this. For in loop and for off loop, these are actually such a loops which work on iterative or objects. Especially the for in loop works on object. So what is object and how to create object in JavaScript? We will talk about this a bit later, but at this moment, let me show you the two for loop. Object is an entity which have multiple properties and maybe functionality also, and everything in this universe is actually a object. For example, let's suppose a student. So a student has a name, uh, address, mobile number, ID number, metric number, and these are different multiple values that a student can have. And at the same time, the student may the student have functionalities also. Student can write, student can walk, and so on. So this type of to represent this type of data, we need object oriented programming, and we need to create object. So how to create object in JavaScript is like this. We will use the same let keyword, and you can give any name. Let's suppose a student. Okay, you can give any name like a student equal to, and after that in a curly brackets. Okay, in a curly brackets you will have to define a student. So here what as many properties and functionality you want to add to the student, you can. For example, uh, first name, first name is, let's suppose, mm, so the properties will be value, property and value separated by colon, and one property and another property will be separated by comma. So in this way, so you see far in x in a student. So if there are as many properties defined, all the properties defined in the object, we can see the values here. Oh, okay, so it just show the properties. If you want to show the values of the properties, then we can write like this. Plus is used for concatenation purpose. So if we concatenate just like x, and after that maybe yeah, the value like student, and you see this student has many properties. So what properties you want? So the x. Okay, so in this way we can display like this. Student, oh sorry, this should here should be a plus. Okay, student x. So now you see the first name and the value, the second name, last name and the value, and the ID and the value. So if you want to see the value of the properties, then you will use this brackets notation, object name, and actually the first property will be stored on first index, second and zero index, one index, and so on, like array. But we are using for in loop. So for in loop is so useful. Let's suppose we don't know the property names, and we don't know the how many properties are there. We only know the object name. So you using for in loop, you can iterate, you can display all the properties of an object. So it's a very useful and easy loop. Okay, in the same way, another loop which is far off loop. Okay, far off loop mostly we are using for arrays. So to create array in JavaScript, we are using let any variable, let's suppose like a car, equal to, and then the array values will be in brackets. Okay, in bracket. So let's suppose here in this bracket we can type different car names, like let's suppose BMW. Okay, and next one maybe anyone. Oh, we should type in, because it is text, so in a single quotes. Okay, and maybe another one, Honda. uh, I think enough. So let's suppose you have this array. Now you want to display all the elements of array. Then we can using for off loop. So we can use like create any variable, let y, and then for y of car. Okay, for y of car, and then display this console.log y. Okay, so you see we can see all the values BMW and blah 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 blah. So if there are as many values in the array, okay, uh, if there all the values of the array will be easily displayed using the far off uh, loop in a JavaScript. What is a function? A function is an independent block of code uh, written for some specific purpose, and functions is an independent, so we can call that function and that functionality as many times as we want. So once we write a function, we can call many times, and there is a lot of usage of function in JavaScript. For example, using a function, you can get a window height, a window width, you can calculate the area. So many things you can check, okay, because JavaScript support events, okay, and using the events, we can do many interactive functionality, and all these will be applied using function. So meaning to say, function is very important concept in all programming languages and especially in JavaScript. Okay, so how to define a function? You will use the keyword function and then the any name that you want to give, like my function, and then the parentheses. In this parentheses, the function may have parameters, but in this case no. If no parameter, then empty parentheses or brackets. Then this curly brackets is the body of the function, and here will be the code. For example, in this case, one console statement. So this is the definition of the function we just define, and to call the function, then just type the function name and semicolon. So this will be like a function call. Okay, now if you want to send arguments, then you see in the brackets, in the parentheses, you can send as many parameter as you want, and later on this parameter will be used inside the body of the loop. Like for example, we added all these parameter values and then display it, and you see this function can return a value also. You see, once it return, when the function reach to the return statement, then it will stop execution. The control come out from the function. And a function who accept a parameters, when we call that function, we must need to pass a values. The same number of values is of the parameter. If the parameters are 3, you need to pass three values also, and not only the number of parameters, actually the type of parameters also. For example, if the first one is integer value, you need to pass integer. If let's suppose the second one you want a string value, then you will have to pass the string value. So the number of parameters and the type of parameters, it will match. Okay, and to call it is like this. So if let's suppose you pass less number of values, like parameters are 3 and you pass 2 values, so you, and here you are using the z in calculation, so you will get an error message that z is undefined. If let's suppose the function need have 3 arguments and you pass 4 values, you see the function accept 3 arguments and you send 4 values, then the first value for the first argument, second value for second, third for third, the fourth one will be ignored. Okay, so in this way we can define a functions. Another point, the variables which are used inside a function, we should take care of the scope of variable. Recall that there are two type of variable. One is global scope, one is local scope. So if outside the function curly bracket, the variable will be global. So if the variable is global, you can use inside the function also, and you can use outside the function also. And if you define any variable inside the block of function or inside the body of function, you cannot use that variable outside the function because it is local to the function. It is not a global uh, variable. So let me show you this concept here. Let's comment all this coding. Okay, now to create a function, okay, the word function, and you can give any name that you want. Let's suppose sum. Okay, and here we don't provide any value at the beginning, and here we create let uh, x equal to 2 comma y equal to 3 comma 4 sorry z equal to 4, okay, semicolon. And here if we write mm, console.log x plus y uh, plus z semicolon. So you see this will be the definition of the function. Now to call this function, just type the name of the function, okay, with the curly with the brackets parentheses, okay, that's all. So this will call the function. Okay, let's see the output. Yeah, you see here the output is 9 displayed already. So 2 plus 3 5, and 5 plus 4 equal to 9. Okay, if you want to that the function return a value, then you can say like this, like simply return, okay, return, sorry, return, okay, and x plus y plus z. So here if you want to show, you can do like this also, like you can assign to, oh, it cannot return, wait, uh, you can assign to a variable also. Let's suppose let add equal to sum, and I will call the function, okay, sorry, yeah, just here. So if I call the function and then I will console.log the add value, and then I can see the result. So you see this return statement calculated the values and returned the value to this point and assigned to this variable, and now I can display like this. Okay, if you don't want to assign to a variable, you can simply write like this also, that here in the parentheses of console.log, call the function sum, but note the point, there should be a parenthesis. Okay, so you see you will again get the same result. If you forgot the function parentheses, then you see you will get the whole function coding here. Okay, note this point. The same applies on an array and an object also, that if you let's suppose like you see here, if I uncomment this student object, and if I display here, let me just show you like student, okay, so if I display like this, you see it will display all the object uh, properties in this way, like as a object. Okay, in the same way, if you forgot the function parenthesis in the console.log and you just type like this, then it will display the whole function coding in the console. And if you want to call the function, then don't forget to put the parenthesis. So if you put the parenthesis, the function will be called and it will return the the value. Okay, now if let's suppose this function has this function need arguments, so x, y, and let's suppose z. Okay, then here this line actually no need. You can just write return x plus y plus z, but you can pass the value from here, from the point that you are calling. For example, 5 comma 5 comma 5, so it should display 15. You see, whenever you are calling, so three arguments and three values. Let's suppose pass one less value. Okay, and if we pass one less value and we are using the z here in a calculation, you see we get the n not not a value, or not a number. NaN means not a number. This is also one data type in JavaScript, and not a number, or NaN is such a is such a data type which don't have any value. Meaning to say, an empty variable is known as NaN, not a number. Okay, and if let's suppose if we pass more values, okay, like this, so you see the extra value is simply ignored. Here, creating a custom loop with a function, it's nothing, just the value, the loop variables, the are the variables that we are going to use inside the loop, and this variable will control the loop. Actually, these variables are coming from a function. So this is why in this way you can create a custom loop which will depends on the argument, that whatever value you pass to the argument, the loop will run that much time. Okay, so it's quite it is also possible like that. Okay, next one, array. We saw one example also already, that array is a structure in every programming language which can store multiple values. Okay, but in some programming languages like C++, array can only store same data type. Meaning to say, if integer array, then all the values will be integer. If float array, all the values will be float. If string array, all the values will be string. But JavaScript and PHP we will study later. JavaScript is can support such array that actually you can type, it can store different data type also. Even it can store array inside array. So meaning to say, array is a very powerful technique in JavaScript. So to define array, the easy way is like this, that you use this bracket notation, this bracket. Okay, this bracket notation, just a variable var, but please use the keyword let. Now let the array name and equal to, then the brackets, and inside the bracket you type the values. The values may be string like this, the value may be numbers as you wish, or the value may be mixed thing, like for example 1, 2, and the third one is some string, let's suppose like ABC. Okay, so it is also possible, and JavaScript can handle it, which is actually not allowed in other programming languages like C++. Okay, It may be numeric like this. Yeah. Okay. So there are many built-in functions in JavaScript for array. For example, if let's suppose you want to reverse the numbers like from it is from 10 20 in ascending order. If you want to display in descending order, just call the function reverse, the array name dot reverse. Okay, you can join the values like a string. Okay, you can simply call the array name dot join, and you can simply sort the value if the values inside the array are not sorted. Okay, in this small example it is easy thing, but actually some in a professional project, the array may have millions and thousands and hundreds of values. So to sort that manually, it's very tedious work. So JavaScript is very rich in functions. So just simply call the array name dot sort. Okay. So let me show you these few in examples. Okay, let's comment on this and create an array. Let's suppose data equal to, use this bracket. Let's suppose random numbers. Okay, just random numbers. Semicolon. First of all, oh sorry, spelling mistake. First of all, if you want to display all the elements of array, so the best suited example is the far off loop. Like for example, let's suppose let's create one variable like x, and then for x of data, and here just console.log x. And if we see this in a here, we can see the result. Oh, here is, I think missing. Yeah. Can you see? You see that the output, the 54 and 54 are two times. So the JavaScript is so intelligent. They displayed just one time and written there two, that it is two times. Okay, in the same way 65 are two times, so the JavaScript just wrote there two, meaning to say it is three times. Let's change it to three, then it will become three times. Yeah, you see, it become three times. So this is one way. Another way, if we just write like this, like for example data dot reverse. Okay, data dot reverse, sorry, reverse. Okay, call this function, and after that display again. So oh, I should not use it. Let's suppose for x of data. Okay, and here console.log x. And you see, we can display now in this order. Reverse the 65 65 65, these are the first three, then the second. Yeah, see, in this way we can easily reverse. If you want to sort it, let me comment this, and function data dot sort. Okay, so simply call a sort function, All these are function. Don't forget to use the parentheses at the end. So you see ascending order, first this, yeah, I have typed already in ascending order. Okay, now if you want to join the values, for example, all these values should be joined. It mostly works, are suitable function for string values, but let's just try data just for understanding point of view. Join, okay. uh, if you want to give some separation, you see, like some space, or maybe some character, like for example, if you want to give this one, you see it's supposed to display like, let me, then this time we should not use again far, because it will display each component. So join and then console dot log the data. Oh, it will display all. So then the join we should assign to some variable. Yeah, if we want to see the output of this, then let's create let string str equal to join the data. So it will join, and here we should type the display the str. So you see, if you join, you see all the values, and the default join character is comma. If you want to provide here, let's suppose the percentage symbol, you see the percentage symbol is put here. If you want to put anything, so meaning to say, here we can give a character to sorry, not 8, should be this. Yeah. Okay, so the array has many other functions, and JavaScript is very rich in this regard. All numbers are actually number type. Even for example, 20, like this, you see 20 and 20.0, all these are of same. So meaning why? Because JavaScript consider all the values, maybe decimal point, maybe non-decimal point, positive, negative, all these value consider as a number. Okay, and any number, any variable which don't have any value, that is called not a number. Like you can say empty variable. Okay, we have almost cover this, so I will quickly go through this. Okay, math object, JavaScript is very rich in math functions also. For example, you see math dot round. There are many math functions. We cannot cover all, but just to introduce you with the few, you can Google it. So any idea, any functionality that you need from mathematics point of view, you can find function for that. Okay, so but you need to use the math object. Okay, and the math is an object, and which is predefined built-in object. Okay, uh, and using this math, and after that dot, the methods, the functions are used after dot, and there are the after dot will be the function name, like math dot round, math dot max, math dot min, and math dot pi, math dot random, math dot square root, math dot log. All these functions you can use. So JavaScript is very rich in such functions. Next one is a string. A string is a combination of characters, like you see, and to define like this, let my string equal to a simple string. So it is in double quotation. So try to use double quotation. You can use single quote also, but the best one to use double quotation, because if you use single quotation, then a string which have a single quote, at that time it will create confusion. And the technique, if you want to skip some of the code or quotation inside the string, then you will have to use slashes. So this slash means that don't consider this double quotation as a operator. No, consider it as part of the string. Okay, then use forward slash. In this case, you see, like, that's fine. So that's fine. This will be in double quotation, and this apostrophe will also be part of the string. Okay, so in that case, you need to use forward slash to ignore whatever you want. Okay, there are the string of object. String is also an object, and string also have a lot. Not the point. Object has properties and functions. So like a math object, string object also have many functionalities and properties. Okay, so if you have a string, like for example phrase, this is a simple phrase, then you can find the length of this string very easily. Simply just phrase dot length. You can change its case, like phrase dot to uppercase. Okay, and you can split the string characters uh, using any character between them if you want, or if you just want the default space, then just the string dot split, it will automatically split like this. Okay, the words will be split like this. Okay, so string is also a very useful technique, because in the world of web, in websites, the web is mostly text data, and most of the time we need to collect data from web automatically. Actually, there is a lot of text processing using website data. So the string techniques and string methods are very useful. You should try to explore too much, because it is really useful to be expert and to have experience of this. Okay, you can even find using this index of function. Index of function will give you index of some word inside a function. And note the point, indexes start from 0, and each character uses will be stored in one index, like 0, 1, space is also a character, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You see, this word starts at 10. Okay, so it will give you the starting index, not all the indexes. Like for example, G is 10, R is 11, and so on. But this index of function will give you the starting index of a word inside a text, a string. If let's suppose the word doesn't exist, then it will return negative. Okay, and last index of will give you the index of y. Okay, so default one is the first, and if you really want the last one, then it is this one. So in this way you can actually find the length of word also. If let's suppose there is such a word that you don't know that how lengthy is it, and you want to know the length of, so you see the index of will give you the first index, means the starting point, and the last index will give you the last index, then from this you can find the length of that word also. You can easily find, if you assign this word to a string, you can easily find the length using length functionality. But sometime if you don't know that what word you are dealing with, in that case you can do it. Okay, next one, like you see, yeah, slice, uh, phrase slice. So you can divide this into to two different slices. Yeah, starting from the sixth position. So you give the position that's starting from sixth character, slice it into how many slices? Into 5 slices. So the string will be divided into 5 slices starting from 6 characters. Yeah, and it will give you the 5 letters starting from uh, 6 position. Okay, 6 index. I'm meaning to say start from 6 index and then give 5 character. How many characters you want. So substring inside a string, you can provide in the parentheses that you are looking for some substring inside a string. You can use this substring also or substr also. Uppercase, lowercase, so many functionalities are there. Another very important object in JavaScript is date object, which is really important and which really has usage in practical projects, because we need the current time, we need the current date, and sometimes we need calculations on the basis of time, date, and so on. Okay, you see, like for example, in the websites, when it is updated, when the person commented, when the review has been written. So you see that the date and time, these are two important issues in the online world. So this date is also very rich in properties and functions. So if you want to create a date object, so you can simply initialize like this: let today and new date. It will give you the current date and time, reading from the system, from the computer. Whatever date has been fixed there, it will give you there. If the computer date is wrong, it will give you wrong. So meaning to say, it only reads from the computer. And if you want to initialize the date using your own value, then let the variable name and new date, okay, and provide the values. The values will be in the form of year, month, and day. Okay, if you want only year, month, a day. If you want date and time both, then year, month, day, hours, minutes, and seconds you can provide like this. Similarly, you see, if you have a time, a date, if you have a date object, you can create like this, as we saw in the previous slide also, just today. And now if you want to extract only the month from this, then you see today that get month. If you want to get the year only, today that get full year. There is the older version, in older version of JavaScript was today that get year, but now this is deprecated, meaning to say, maybe in a recent future it will stop working. So better, if you want to use, better to use this function, not the old one, because if JavaScript stop the support of this, then it will not work, and the page will show different behavior. Okay, and get date, get hour, get time, all these functions. Yeah, and you see, for example, if you want to set month for the specific one, like for example today dot set month, you see you can change here the value inside this object you by passing the values, like set month, set full year, set day, set hour, set minutes and second, and so on. So set and get, these are so many functions already available. Okay, we have already covered these were built-in functions like the math, the string, the date. These are built-in functions in JavaScript already created for us, and most of the functionalities are already there. If you want your own object, like we saw the example previously, then you can create your own object also, and the procedure is the same, that let, please use the word let, not wa. Okay, let any object that you want to create, player, student, person, customer, product, whatever you want, then equal to curly brackets and semicolon. Don't forget the semicolon, because semicolon means we are defining a new object here. In the body of the object will be all the properties that you want: name, score, rank, whatever. Okay, then later on, if you want to display, then use the dot operator, like player dot name, player dot score, player dot rank. You can use the properties using the dot operator, or if you want all the properties, then use the for in loop. Okay, in this way you can create like second one. Yeah, it's easy. You can assign one object to another object easily.